Ghostbusters' newest film, Ghostbusters Afterlife, came out 3 weeks ago, and I just got around to seeing it yesterday. So today I thought it was time for me to stop and review Ghostbusters Afterlife. Please note that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion. I know this video is late, but comment down below your very own opinion on Ghostbusters Afterlife. It's been 3 weeks. If you haven't seen it already, you probably wasn't interested in it anyway. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter. It's going to pop up on your screen right now. With that being said, let's get right into our review.
It has a gunner seat?
Ghostbusters Afterlife was a film that I wasn't looking forward to that much going into 2021, but when the time rolled around, I was very excited for it. So let's move right into the good. And the good thing that comes to mind here is that I am a fan of Ghostbusters. Now, I did not grow up with Ghostbusters. I was not born in 1984, 1989. I actually got into Ghostbusters really from Lego Dimensions. I mean, we've all heard the song Ghostbusters, like when we're in the gym or something like that, or like we're in school, we've all heard that song. But I didn't get into Ghostbusters until I saw them inside of Lego Dimensions, and I have a Ghostbuster. I have Peter Venkman. And then the next year, Ghostbusters 2016 came out. So I watched that film, and I'm like, let me go check out the original film. And then after the original film, I was like, okay, that's pretty good. Let me check out the second one. And then ever since 2016, I have never seen the second Ghostbusters. Just a little background knowledge on my history with Ghostbusters. So I am a fan of them. I do know of Ghostbusters. I really do love the first movie, and I really do like the 2016 version, which is the first Ghostbusters movie that I've ever watched. But I didn't really grow up on it, but I am a fan of it. Just assuring you guys. But going back into the good, I do feel like a lot of people that have already seen this film, as well as going to see this film, are going to like it. Mainly because of the nostalgia of this film. The idea of just seeing the original Ghostbusters again is fun, and there's something special and cool about that. One of the biggest positives here is the simplicity of the film. The script and the direction, it all feels just so simple. And it has this small town feel to it that made it have a great contrast from the hugeness of New York City, the location that we've been previously in for the past 3 Ghostbusters films. The location feels real without going big, because in the previous films we had them on top of skyscrapers and the entirety of New York City almost gets sucked into a hole, whereas in this one, I really enjoyed the scenes of just seeing Ecto-1 drive through fields and them driving through small towns. We get to see a character inside of Walmart, and I think all of it worked because I believe that they were actually doing real practical stuff. It's not a lot of CGI. It's not CGI heavy, so you feel like they're on real locations most of the time, and that's what I really did love about the film Eternals. Paul Rudd and McKenna Grace are some of the standouts here. Every other actor inside of this film, they get their time to shine a little bit, but I do believe that most of it was given to McKenna Grace primarily and Paul Rudd. And I will get into Paul Rudd later, but I gotta say, McKenna Grace, I really do like this young actress. She's popped up in almost everything that I have seen, and everything that she's been in, I really enjoy. We also have fewer jokes inside of this film. It's a good thing because they found a way to have the story slow down, have a little bit more drama, and I think they balanced out the tone very well here. In many ways, this film is a tribute to the late Harold Ramis. He was in the original Ghostbusters, and he was an original Ghostbuster. He is a primary member of the team, and I really did enjoy what they did with the twist as well as the overall tribute that they did for this guy. And just I just love seeing the original Ghostbusters return. It's something great about having a franchise years later be revived or rebooted, and just having the older actors coming back to play their roles that they played 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 23 years ago, and they're gray and then they're all old, but they still have the same characteristics, the same personality. I think all of that works here, and I just thought that it made for a very cool dynamic for this film. But there are a few mixed aspects. These are not bad things. These are not good things. These are just some things that I wanted to cover. So let's move right into the mixed. And the mixed thing that came to mind here is that I expected a bigger role for Paul Rudd. His face is plastered all over the trailers. His face is plastered all over the posters. And I guess I could see why. Because his last film was Avengers Endgame. Well, his last big film was Avengers Endgame. So I guess they want to milk him as much. But he was not a primary in the film that prominent. Actually, he was this film's equivalent to Sigourney Weaver's character Dana's neighbor inside of the first film. That's exactly the character that he, as well as McKenna Grace's character Phoebe's mom, plays. They play Dana and the guy that's Dana's neighbor. The story, while simple, is legit the same as the first. And I put out a tweet earlier comparing this film to Force Awakens, which isn't a bad thing, but it's not the greatest thing ever. And also, there's less Ghostbuster-like thing. Like I said, in the good, there's more drama, and they found a way to balance out the tone a little bit. But I really wanted to see more Ghostbuster aspects because of the fact that we're in a smaller locale. So I wanted to see a little bit more ghouls, a little bit more ghosts. And we do get some of that. But we don't get a lot of the Ghostbuster action and stuff with the protons and stuff like that. We're mainly focusing on the legacy of the Ghostbusters and how much nostalgia we can pull. With that being said, let's move right into the bad. And the bad thing that comes to mind here is that I'm not going to remember this film beyond the nostalgia beats. Now, don't get me wrong, I've only seen it once, and I'm not trashing it. I just believe that the more fascinating parts of the film were because of the nostalgia and because of the OGs returning. Like I said before, I did not grow up with Ghostbusters. So if you are a Ghostbusters fan from childhood all the way up till now, you are going to really love the nostalgia beats and where it hits you hard. But for someone like me who didn't grow up with the original Ghostbusters, whereas this film is intended for a newer audience as well as the older OG Ghostbuster fans, I don't believe that this film made itself memorable beyond the cameos. How much references we can put in there, how much nostalgia beats we can have in there, to the point where I want to watch that again, beyond the fact that I just want to see the original Ghostbusters back. In conclusion, Ghostbusters Afterlife is a really good movie, and I really enjoyed it. They managed to do something different with the IP, as well as introduce newer audiences to this IP, and pay tribute to the OGs and those who grew up on Ghostbusters. The cast is likable, the small town feel is refreshing, the cameos are all great. Like I said, loved seeing the OG Ghostbusters back. I do have my problems with there, but I can't call this film anything less than charming. I'm gonna have to give it, I would say, a B plus and an A minus. In that range. It depends on the day. Today I might just be going with a B plus, and I would say an 8.7 out of 10. And I would say Ghostbusters fans definitely will love this film. Definitely will really like this film. Definitely will feel nostalgic from this film. If you're someone like me who didn't grow up on Ghostbusters and just really enjoyed the Ghostbusters films, saw the 2016 one, saw the originals, a low-key fan of Ghostbusters though, I think you're really going to enjoy this film. Alright guys, that was it for the review. Please know that everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion, and you're free to comment down below. What did you think of Ghostbusters Afterlife? It's been like at least 3 weeks since the film came out, so if you haven't seen it by now, you're probably not that interested in it. But comment down below your thoughts. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter that's going to pop up on your screen right now. Please don't forget to come back in the near future for a Ghostbusters movie ranking. Be on the lookout for that. Like, comment, and subscribe. And with that being said, I will see you all next time. Peace.